Well, hi, I'm Nancy Jones. I'm a member of GFWC-WS Club and also a past president, both junior director and past president of Washington State.
And I am Susan Tyler, and I am the current president of Washington State for GFWC, and in the same club as Nancy, and that's what we're going to talk about today, because it's all my mother's and Nancy's fault that I'm sitting here today doing this. So
see, we have good instincts.
I guess so. So Nancy, I think you met my mom relatively early after she moved up here. What sorts of things do you remember about her?
She came into Sokiko through two other members that she was already volunteering with in the community. And I was just impressed. She was such a lovely lady. She was so friendly. She had a great smile and she was so enthusiastic. She had been a GFWC member in Arizona. And I was impressed with that because she talked about some of the things that they did down there and all that. And she just was an easy person to get to know. And I just fell in love with her. I mean, she was a buddy, and we just had such a good time.
It didn't hurt that you both love shoes and purses.
Well, that had a lot to do with it. Yeah. Shoes and purses was our thing.
That is, yeah.
And the other thing was that, we had a sailboat at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a fundraiser one year and your mom bought or got, I don't remember if she won it. I don't remember what the fundraiser was, but anyway, she got to go out for a dinner sale with my husband and I. And, my husband, from the day she met him, she always called him, Captain Sonny, or the captain, how's the captain doing?
Yep.
And because they had their thing because they were both in love with airplanes.
Yeah.
And so, if the three of us were in the room, I might as well have gotten up and left because they were either talking about sailing or airplanes, mostly airplanes. So anyway,
yeah, it's funny. Mom had a complicated relationship with airplanes. She actually hated flying. She was terrified of it.
Yeah, I remember that too.
But my dad was a crop duster.
Right.
And I mean, just a pilot for forever. My grandfather was a pilot back in the day. He flew with Lucky Lindbergh. My grandfather actually doubled for Clark Gable in a movie.
Oh, wow.
One of the flying movies. He looked just like him. It was really weird looking at photographs of him.
Wow.
But anyway, that's everything to do with GFWC, but it's just kind of an interesting history bit there. My memories of mom are always that she's always volunteered everywhere for everything. Mm-hmm. And I guess it rubbed off. So,
yeah, of course.
I remember because I had helped you guys with all kinds of things.
Yeah.
With Sokiko, when my girls were little and I was a Girl Scout leader, we got roped into Breakfast with the Bunny. Remember, we would help make
I remember
breakfast,
that,
and
yes.
we did the girls did the face painting,
right,
a couple of years for that. So we did that for quite a long time, and then after they grew up and I got a divorce, I think you went to mom and said, okay, fine, tell her she has to join.
That's right.
Because we need to count her hours.
Yes. Yeah, you were donating too many free hours to the organization.
So I needed to join. So there. And I remember we did something at a meeting where we talked about how we got there. And I said, well, I joined because my mother and Nancy Jones made me. But I stuck around because I made a lot of friends.
Yeah.
That's still true.
Yep.
And we're talking about mom past tense. She's not exactly.
No, I know that she's just not an active member anymore.
Well, yeah, she's in late stage dementia. So, and one of the things that's really interesting about that, two things that I think are really funny. I bought this absolutely lovely hand-tooled leather purse a while back. It's completely extravagant, totally out of the norm for me because I am not the shoes and purse person. Mm-hmm. But every time I see her, she perks up. No matter, it says, "Oh, where did you get that purse?" "Oh, why don't I have one?" And then I said, "Well, try to pick it up," and she can't. And she says, "Oh, all right then." But she always notices purses, and I will ask her, what's been going on? What'd you do?" "Oh, I had some people come by." "Really? Who came to visit you?" "Oh, some ladies from club." So no matter what, the first thing that she always thinks of, if it's a gift she gets or something, where'd you get that? Oh, I wanted it at club, or they gave it to me for my birthday at club, which sometimes, I would like a little credit for the thing that I just gave her, but whatever.
That's right.
I guess it counts.
Kind of in an adverse way, it's coming through club, your club, whatever. No, she was fascinating to talk to because she had a lot of life experiences. And like I say, I know she didn't like to fly, and she through some of her life experiences didn't really like airplanes, but she and the captain could go off because he was fascinated by older planes, and she could talk older models.
Yeah.
And, the rest of us are talking, we have jets, now, but they could go off in the corner, and I'm sure they had the same conversation several times because, airplanes was the center of their existence.
Yes, it was.
But anyway, it was always fun to work with your mom too, because she had lots of good ideas, and she was always open to new ideas. And it's just funny when I remember on her 80th birthday, she said, I turned 80, I'm done. And I said, what do you mean I'm done? And she said, well, I'm 80, I'm going to die now. And I said, no, you're not.
15 years later.
And 15 years later. But she didn't really give up at that point, but she slowed down a lot after that. And it was just a mindset. And I've remembered that because I'm trying not to have that kind of a mindset.
I know, because she was always so young and vibrant.
Exactly. And it was like somebody flipped a switch, and that broke my heart. It really did.
Me too. It was hard to watch.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curiosity. So are there traits that you think Mom and I have in common? Only the good ones, of course. You're much alike in that you are dedicated to what you do, whether it was work or club or anything else, Girl Scouts. I know you had a long history with Girl Scouts, and you have varied interests, but when you are interested in something, you do all you can to learn about it. Whether or not you guys care to hear about it.
That's a whole nother story. But anyway, and besides that, I love you as much as I loved her, I love her.
I know. Thanks, Nancy.
Yeah, but
makes me feel good. I appreciate it.
But we brought you up right in the club.
Yes, you did.
Even if you do, hold it against me, but I know you don't, because you've loved every minute of it.
Pretty much, yeah.
And maybe there's been a few. This weekend might be it. But anyway, and like I say, when you grab hold of something, you get into it, you know what there is to do, you know what there is needed. And you're always in a good mood. Even when I've seen you upset or frustrated or something, you can always put a smile on your face. And I think that's great. And your mom was like that too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. She always had a positive attitude, and you're like that. And it has been a little odd this weekend, but you've always been positive that it's going to work out, and you know that.
Yeah.
So, and you have a lot of people around that care about you. So.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks for sharing what you remember about Mom. Yeah, it's the hardest part about dementia. So
I know.
That slow erosion of the person that used to be.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And if you could just reach in there and pull that person out for just a few minutes, even sometimes it would be helpful. But,
yep, it would. So.
But she was a great member and is a great lady. You were lucky to have her as a mom.
Yep, I always thought so. Even if I didn't inherit her love for shoes.
Yeah. Well, we can't have everything. So
that's right.